A lost man. It was a dirty evening, coming on to dusk, and the Vital Spark went walloping drunkenly down Loch Fyne, and with a cargo of oak bark badly trimmed. She staggered to every shock of the sea. The waves came combing over her quarter, and Dougie the mate began to wish they had never sailed that day from Kilcreggan. They had struggled round the point of Pennymoor, the prospect looking every moment blacker, and he turned a dozen projects over in his mind for inducing Parahandy to anchor somewhere till the morning. At last he remembered Para's partiality for anything in the way of longshore gaiety, and the lights of the village of Furness gave him an idea. "Ah, man, Peter," said he, "did we no go away and forget this was the night of the ball at Furness? What do you say to going in and joining the spree?" "You're feared, Dougie," said the captain. "You're scared to death for your life in case you'll have to die and leave your money. You're thinking you'll be drowned, and that's the way you want to put her into Furness. Man, but you're timid, timid. Just look at me, no the least put about. That's because I am a MacFarlane, and a MacFarlane never was bait yet, never in this world. I'm no going to stop the night for any ball. We must be in Clyde on Friday. Besides, we haven't the clothes wares for a ball. Who'll buy the tickets, eh? Tell me that. Who'll buy the tickets?" "Ah, you don't need tickets for a Furness ball," said Dougie, flicking the spray from his ear and looking longingly at the village they were nearing. "You don't need tickets for a Furness ball as long as you ken the man at the door and talk the Gaelic at him. And your clothes'll do fine if you oil your boots and put on a kind of a collar. What's the hurry for Clyde? It'll no run dry, in weather like this too. It's just a tempting of Providence. Oh, I had a dream yonder last night that wasna canny. Just a tempting of Providence." "I wouldna say, but it is," agreed the captain weakly, putting the vessel a little to starboard. It's many a day since I was at a spree in Furness. Are you sure the ball's the night?" "Of course I am," said Dougie emphatically. "It only started yesterday." "Well, if you're that keen on't, well, maybe be just as well to put her in till the morning," said Parahandy, steering hard for Furness Bay, and in a little he knocked down to the engines with the usual "Stop her, MacPhail, when you're ready." All the crew of the Vital Spark went to the ball, but they did not dance much, though it was the boast of Parahandy that he was a fine, strong dancer. The last to come down to the vessel in the morning, when the ball stopped, because the paraffin oil was done, was the captain, walking on his heels, with his pea-jacket tightly buttoned on his chest and his round go-ashore pot hat, as he used to say himself, on 3 hairs. It was a sign that he felt intensely satisfied with everything. "I'm feeling just sublime," he said to Dougie, smacking his lips and thumping himself on the chest as he took his place at the wheel, and the Vital Spark resumed her voyage down the loch. "I am just like the eagle that knew the youth in the Scriptures. Oh, it's a fine, fine thing, a spree, though I was not in the trim for dancing. I met 16 cousins yonder, and them all in the committee. They were the proud men last night to be having a captain for a cousin, and them only quarrymen. It's the education, Dougie. Education gives you the nerve, and if you have the nerve, you can go round the world." "You werenna very far round the world, whatever o' it," unkindly interjected the engineer, who stuck up his head at the moment. The captain made a push at him angrily with his foot. "Go down, MacPhail," he said, "and do not be making a display of your ignorance on this ship. Stop you till I get you at bowling. Not round the world. Man, I was twice at Ullapool, and took the Vital Spark to Ireland once, without a light on her. There is not a port I'm not acquaint with, from the tail of the bank to Cairndow, where they keep the 2 New Years. And Campbelltown, aye, or Barra, or Tobermory. I'm telling you, when I am in them places, it's Captain Peter MacFarlane is the much respected man. If you were a real engineer and not just a fireman. I would be asking you to my lodgings to let you see the things I brought from my voyages. The engineer drew in his head and resumed the perusal of a penny novelette. He thinks I'm frightened for him, said the captain, winking darkly to his mate. It is because I'm too civil to him. If he angers me, I'll show him. It is just spoiling the boat having a man like that in charge of her engines, and her such a fine smart boat with me, and a man like me in command of her. Aye, and there's mysel too, the mate, said Dougie. I'm no bad mysel. Below Minard Rocks the weather grew worse again. The same old seas smashed over the Vital Spark. She's pitching about just like a washing boyne, said Dougie apprehensively. That's the worst of them oak bar cargoes. Like a washing boyne, cried Parahandy indignantly. She's just sublime. I was in boats in my time where you would need to be bailing the water out of your top boots every here and there. The smartest boat in the trade. Stop you till I have a pound of my own, and I will paint her till you'll take her for a yacht if it wasn't for the lum. You and your washing boyne. A washing boyne wouldn't do you any harm, my lad, and that's telling you. They were passing Loch Gare. The steamer Signet overtook and passed them as if they had been standing, somebody shouting to them from her deck. Parahandy refrained from looking. It always annoyed him to be passed this way by other craft, and in summer-time, when the turbine King Edward or the Lord of the Isles went past him like a streak of lightning, he always retired below to hide his feelings. He did not look at the Signet. Aye, aye, he said to Dougie. That'll be Johnny McTavish taking his fun of me. You would think he was a Wayne. Just like them brats of boys that come to the riverside when we'll be going up the Clyde at Yoker and cry, Columbia, ahoy! It's us, the devil's own. As the Signet disappeared in the distance, with a figure waving at her stern, a huge sea struck the Vital Spark and swept her from stem to stern, almost washing the mate, who was hanging onto a stay, overboard. Tar! Tar! Cried the captain. Go and get a hold of that bucket, or it'll be over the side. There was no response. The tar was not visible, and a wild dread took possession of Parahandy. Let us pause and consider, said he to himself. Was the tar on board when we left Furness? They searched the vessel high and low for the missing member of the crew, who was sometimes given to fall asleep in the forecastle at the time he was most needed. But there was no sign of him. I can't find he was on board when we started, said the captain, distracted, for I heard him spitting. Look again, Dougie, like a good lad. Dougie looked again, for he too was sure the tar had returned from the ball with him. I saw him with my own eyes, he said, 2 of him. The same as if he was a twins. That is the curse of drink in a place like Furness. But the search was in vain, even though the engineer said he had seen the tar an hour ago. Well, there's a good man gone, said Parahandy. Oh, poor tar. It was yon last smasher of a sea. He's over the side. Poor lad, poor lad. God bless me, dying without a word of Gaelic in his mouth. Oh, it's a judgment on us for the way we were carrying on, just a judgment. Not another drop of drink will I drink, except maybe beer, or at a New Year time. I'm blaming you, Dougie, for making us stop at Furness for a ball I wouldn't give a snuff for. You're just a disgrace to the vessel with your smoking and your drinking and your ignorance. It is time you were living a better life for the sake of your wife and family. If it was not for you making me go into Furness last night, the tar would be to the fore yet, and I would not need to be sending a telegram to his folk from Ardrishick. If I was not steering the boat, I would break my heart greeting for the poor lad that never did anybody any harm. Get out the flag from below my bunk, give it a sign in the pail, and put it at half-mast, and we'll go into Ardrishick and send a telegram. It'll be a sixpence. It'll be a telegram with a sore heart, I'll assure you. I do not know what I was saying, Dougie. It will not do to break it too much to them. Maybe we will send the 2 telegrams. That'll be a shilling. We'll say in the first one, your son Colin left the boat today. And in the next one we will say, he is not coming back. He is drowned. Oh, oh, poor tar, amn't I sorry for him. I was just going to put up his wages a shilling on Saturday. The Vital Spark went in close to Ardrishick Pier, just as the Cygnet was leaving after taking in a cargo of herring boxes. Parahandy and Dougie went ashore in the punt, the captain with his hands washed and his watch chain on, as a tribute of respect for the deceased. Before they could send off the telegram, it was necessary that they should brace themselves for the melancholy occasion. No drinking, just one glass of beer, said Parahandy, and they entered a discreet, contiguous public house for this purpose. The tar himself was standing at the counter having a refreshment, with one eye wrapped up in a handkerchief. "Almighty!" cried the captain, staggered at the sight and turning pale. "What are you doing here with your eye in a sling?" "What's your business?" retorted the tar coolly. "I'm not in your employ anyway." "What way that?" asked Parahandy sharply. "Did you no give me this black eye and the sack last night at the ball, and tell me I was never to set foot in the Vital Spark again? It was gey mean of you to go away without letting me get my dunnage out, and that's the way I came here with a Cygnet to meet you. Did you no hear me roaring on you when we passed?" Well done, said Parahandy soothingly, with a wink at his mate. "But I was only in fun, Colin. It was a jink. It was just a bore altogether. Come away back to the boat like a smart lad. I have a shilling here I was going to spend anyway, Colin. What'll you take? We thought you were over the side and drowned, and you are here, quite dry as usual."